online marketplace Artfinder has found the majority of British artists earn less than £10,000 a year, and that's making it tougher and tougher for creatives to be based here in the capital. Michal Szczesny is the website's Chief Operating Officer and joins me this evening along with graffiti artist Kev Munday. Welcome to London Live News to you both. Michal, just tell us how you came to this conclusion.
We have embarked on the journey to revolutionise the way people buy art about 5 years ago with the launch of the Artfinder marketplace. And over the years we found that artists actually really struggle to make a living. So we, not having done any research so far about this, we decided to conduct a survey, and the survey attracted over 1,500 submissions by independent artists from all over the world. It's the biggest survey of this kind ever conducted, and we have actually identified that over 82% of artists earn less than £10,000, which is kind of less than minimum wage, and specifically in London, majority of artists earn less than £12,000 a year. So it makes it very, very difficult for artists to survive on that kind of earnings.
And also that the situation is getting progressively worse.
That's right. So about 4 years ago, AN Research has carried out a similar survey, and they found that 72% of artists were making less than 10,000. So even though more artists are making money from their art these days, they actually make less per person.
Kev, as an artist who's doing pretty well for yourself, I think it's fair to say you've been named in the Telegraph as one to watch, one of Britain's top artists to watch out for. Have you left the struggles behind now that you're having success?
Relatively, but there's still a sort of thing that people sort of feel like artists work for free a lot, and I mean, I'm quite well established. I've been doing it for 11 or 12 years, and I do still get asked quite regularly to work for free. And it's surprisingly like by big companies a lot of the time as well.
Given the success that you've had, are you living it up in a nice flat in London? How does that translate into your life?
No, I have to work in London quite a lot for murals and sort of galleries and that kind of thing, but I actually live in Basingstoke and commute in.
I've read that's in part because of the cost of living in London.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'd say, yeah.
Were you surprised when you saw the results of this survey, given your own experience?
No, not at all. And I'm being part of the scene, I talk to a lot of artists. I know I'm one of the lucky ones, but yeah, it's definitely a thing. The starving artist is definitely a real thing, yeah.
When people I'm sure there will be people who are critical when they hear this and they think, well, you're not saving lives,
yeah,
you're just painting walls. Why
I don't think everyone deserves a living out of art, I don't mean that, but I think that if you're doing a job, you should be paid for it, I think.
Yeah. The Mayor, Sadiq Khan, this week announced in his London plan plans to bolster the creative industries here in London with a creative land trust scheme which will protect affordable working spaces for creatives. Is that a step in the right direction?
Absolutely. I think Londoners deserve to be exposed to beautiful art on their daily commutes and in their daily lives, and making sure that there is a space made available to people to create is absolutely essential. But along with the space, there has to be also a commitment from businesses and people who actually get the artists to do the work of beautifying the space, to pay at least the minimum wage. With marketplaces like Artfinder, people do have, artists do have an opportunity to sell worldwide, wherever they are, but that's not enough because local populations also deserve to enjoy their art.
Yeah, for Kev, people watching this, wanting to follow in your footsteps, as I'm sure there are countless people wanting to do, how did you make it work in the early stages when you weren't making a living from your art?
So I worked full-time, I worked at Tesco's, and then I went down to 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, and then until I could finally do it full-time. And I think art is one of those things you have to practice and practice and practice, and it does take time. So, like, being able to sell online and through Artfinder and that kind of thing, every time you get a sale, you think, great, I can make another one. It's not a case of making a living to start with, it's just a case of progressing. And it does take time, but yeah.
So advice to people wanting to follow in the footsteps?
Just keep going. Don't look back, just keep going, yeah.
Really good to hear from you both. Thank you for joining us in the studio this evening. Now, if you haven't seen last night's Apprentice, here's a spoiler.